Yeah, you're gonna love this one. It's a Scream, baby. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
The oldest Scream franchise theory is that Stu Macher, one of the original Ghostfaces, is still alive out there somewhere, plotting his revenge against Sidney. Matthew Lillard, the actor behind the goofy sidekick character, has even popped up in the franchise many times throughout the years, despite his apparent death at the end of the original. He can be seen in the background of this shot in Scream 2, and even plays the flamethrower-wielding metallic Ghostface in the Stab requel from the 2022 flick. Now, he's a confirmed cast member for Scream 7. So what's going on here? Well, many fans out there, including myself, think it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if Stu was still alive somehow. He very clearly died in the original after suffering many stab wounds, which he would have bled out from, and then took a 60+ pound CRT television straight to the noggin. This also seemingly electrocuted him. Dude is deader than a doornail. But the thing about horror sequels is that sometimes we like to rewrite the past in order to tell new stories in the present. In fact, the recent revival of the Halloween franchise just did something very similar to this. With Scream being a meta horror franchise that comments on other elements of the current state of the genre, I think the 7th installment may be riffing on that idea that was very present in films like Halloween 2018 and especially Halloween Kills. It may even be critiquing a specific element from its slasher competitor here by bringing back one of its previous killers. So in today's video, let's talk about my new favorite Stu is alive theory, and how the Scream franchise could be poking some meta fun at David Gordon Green's recent run of Halloween flicks. Now, let's talk a little bit about it. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. If you're excited for Scream 7 coming out next year, then make sure to like this video and subscribe for more horror movie updates just like this one. Also, the best way to support this page is by becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter, where you'll get an extra review video each week. Thank you to everybody on Patreon or through YouTube channel members for your support. Now let's get into this theory. Just to recap some minor Scream 7 updates from this past week, director Kevin Williamson posted the logo to the film on his Instagram with the caption "'Tis the season." I think this could be an indicator that the first trailer for Scream 7 is on the way. Fingers crossed, baby. We're nearing that window of when a first trailer could drop, so Scream fans should keep their eyes peeled. One safe bet that I've been talking about a lot in these videos is that I think we will definitely be seeing the Scream 7 trailer before The Running Man, which is Paramount's next horror adjacent release. So if you for sure want to see the Scream 7 trailer first and it doesn't come out before November 14th, buy some tickets for The Running Man now, which just had its final trailer release today. This isn't like a sponsorship or anything like that. I just genuinely think we're gonna see the Scream 7 trailer in front of that film. Maybe that's the first place we'll see it too. There's been a few rumors flying around, but nothing super juicy. I've already covered a big update regarding Ghostface having a particular reason to be targeting Sidney Prescott this time around in my last Scream video. I hope that one is true. It's a pretty cool little theory. Check it out in case you missed it. The new rumor that's fueling today's theory, however, revolves around this gentleman right here, an actor who's playing the escaped mental patient in Scream 7, allegedly. Take all of this with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen, and put on your tinfoil hats. The full scope of this rumor is that a mental patient is going to break out of a psychiatric hospital. Think Smith's Grove from Halloween. All of these efforts just to pursue Sidney Prescott and potentially Gale Weathers. Eventually, Gale runs the guy over thinking he might be Ghostface, or Stu Macher. Now, this whole rumor sounds a lot like Halloween Kills, specifically that one subplot involving the other escaped mental patient that isn't super violent and doesn't wear a mask that scares children and doesn't stab people in the face. We're talking about Mr. Tivoli here, whose worst crime is he doesn't really like untied shoes. He's chased all the way up to a very high floor of Haddonfield Memorial Hospital in the second film from Mr. David Gordon Green, and is so terrified by the Evil Dies Tonight mob that he jumps out of a window to his death. It is revealed only then that he is not in fact Michael Myers, and this mob has killed a man. Now, while I am certainly in the minority here of people who loved this subplot, many Halloween fans did not. They thought it was way too complex for the simple slasher movie that they were hoping for from this sequel. Some claim the Evil Dies Tonight chant got annoying after a while and are even speculating that it will be riffed on in the upcoming Scary Movie sequel. Again, in the minority here, it didn't really bug me at all. It was something that I only heard about after the movie came out, and I was pretty shocked by, if I'm being honest. I almost liked Halloween Kills more than Halloween 2018 upon its release. For some fans, however, it's left a major blemish on the franchise. So it begs the question, with Scream 7 being this return to form with its approach, will it go back to that meta commentary of the original, which, mind you, also riffed on the original Halloween?
Now you're no longer a virgin. Now you gotta die. Those are the rules.
Could Scream 7, basically being in the requel run of this series, also riff on the requel run of the Halloween franchise? Going back to Mr. Craig Dane here, he kind of looks a bit like Matthew Lillard. Maybe Sydney and Gale mistake him for Stu Macher, believing the rumors from in-universe true crime fans that preach that Stu Macher is still out there alive somewhere. Now, this could all be set up for Stu Macher's return, like I know so many of you want so badly, but I think this may just be one major red herring to distract you from what's really going on here. Sydney and Gale could be going after a Stu Macher who they think is miraculously still alive, when really there's a new set of ghost faces coming after them, playing into their past trauma. Using that element of trauma from past Ghostface encounters could be an excellent way of keeping Gale and Sydney off the scent of the real killers. That kind of PTSD can cloud any sort of logical thought and could keep the main characters as well as the audience on the wrong path the entire movie, just in time for a shocking reveal during the third act. Or Stu Macher is actually alive and he shoots lightning bolts out of his fingers now. You know, one theory or the other. Seriously though, I really dig this theory because it brings back the very strong meta commentary of the original trilogy, which has kind of started to fade in the most recent movies. It's also playing into a very popular fan theory in unexpected ways. When it comes to good storytelling, you don't want to do exactly what the fans are going to expect, especially in sequels like this. We have been talking about an older Stu returning by taking off his mask in front of Sydney for literal decades now. I'd argue that it's not a visual that would really stun longtime fans for that simple reason alone. You have to find ways to play into expectations while also subverting them. Make the audience think one thing to only come to a different logical conclusion. I will say, however, if Stu Macher is revealed to be alive in Scream 7, I don't think I can hate it anymore. I recently lost a very close friend, one who was called the conductor of the Stu train. He would have loved to have seen a Stu Macher reveal in one of these films, and I honestly might tear up a little bit instead of being totally flustered like how I would have been in the past. It's one of those things I simply can't be against anymore because I know how much Steven would have loved it. Despite that bias I very much so have, I think it could have some negative impacts on this franchise moving forward, where instead of having a murder mystery just in general, we just keep bringing back characters from the past for nostalgia reasons. Like for a moment here, let's entertain this possibility. Stu Macher comes back in Scream 7, and this movie makes $1 bajillion. Why would the studio go back to the old format when this new format is making money? They'll make a Scream 8 where Jill comes back, and then that's the franchise moving forward. This franchise would be rendered one big nostalgia machine at this point, where they're not trying anything new, they're just bringing back killers from the past that people liked until they run out of them, and then the series is over. That's my absolute biggest worry with Stu coming back, is that this wouldn't even be the same franchise. It would be completely unrecognizable from where it started, and I don't know if that's what I really want from this series. There are some things that I think should stay consistent with Scream while also trying out some new things in new sequels, of course. One of those consistent things, though, is we need a murder mystery. We can't just be bringing back people from the past who we enjoyed just because they were awesome back then. Scream 4 is a spitting example of trying out something new, and it totally works. I would rather be getting new Scream 4s opposed to repeating stuff from the past that totally worked. But like I said, I am totally biased when it comes to Scream 7 at this point. Basically, whatever this thing is going to be, I think I'm really gonna like it. So what do you guys think is happening here in Scream 7? Is this mental patient some sort of reference to Halloween Kills? Or has Stu Macher been alive in the shadows, masterminding every single Ghostface attack in all of the sequels so that now he can get his revenge on Sidney Prescott?
Have an aneurysm, why don't you?
I don't know, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.